For almost 3 years I had a job, a paycheck, and absolutely nothing to show for it by the 25th of every month. And the weird part? I wasn't buying anything crazy. No designer clothes, no trips, no big purchases. The money just disappeared. It took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out that the problem wasn't how much I was spending, it was 5 specific things I hadn't done yet. Once I did all 5, my finances changed in under 90 days. You know the feeling. You get paid. You feel okay for maybe a week. Like things are fine, like you're on top of it. And then slowly, quietly, the account drains. There's no single moment you can point to. It's not one big purchase. It's $8 here, $2 and $3 there, a subscription renewal you forgot, dinner that was more expensive than expected, and then somehow it's the 3rd week of the month and you're watching your balance like it's a countdown clock. You've probably told yourself next month will be different. You've probably tried budgeting apps and given up. You've probably had the thought more than once that something is wrong with you specifically, that other people your age seem to have money and you just don't. Here's what's actually true. You're not bad with money. You're running a system that was never set up. And a life without financial systems doesn't fail dramatically. It just leaks. Constantly. Quietly. Every single month. So what are the 5 things that actually stop the leak? Because I tried a lot of things that didn't work before I found the ones that did, and the difference between the ones that worked and the ones that didn't wasn't motivation, it was structure. Let me walk you through all 5. Before we get into the 5 things, I want to address something directly. Because if you've been broke every month despite trying, the standard narrative is that you need more self-control, and I want to push back on that hard. Here's what research on financial behavior actually shows. The average American makes over 35,000 decisions per day, and decision fatigue is real and measurable. By the time you've navigated a full workday and come home tired, the part of your brain responsible for long-term planning, the prefrontal cortex, is running on fumes. The part that says, you know what? Let's just order in wins almost every time. This isn't weakness, this is neuroscience. The financial industry, meanwhile, is very good at engineering the exact opposite effect. Subscriptions auto-renew because removing friction from recurring charges makes them invisible. Buy now, pay later apps are designed to detach the purchase feeling from the payment feeling. Overdraft fees, according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, are disproportionately triggered by transactions under $24. Meaning people get hit with a $35 fee on a $12 purchase because they were $2 short. This isn't an accident. These systems are built to extract money from people who aren't actively paying attention, and they're extremely good at their job. The 5 things I changed weren't about paying more attention. They were about building a structure that didn't require constant attention. That's the distinction that actually matters. There's a specific order to these 5 things. Doing them out of sequence is like trying to build the roof of a house before the walls. Let me walk through each one. Thing 1. I named every dollar before the month started. Not a detailed budget, just a simple allocation. Rent, utilities, debt minimums, groceries, whatever was left got split between savings and spending. The act of deciding where money goes before it arrives removes 100 tiny decisions later. I spent 1 hour on this at the start of every month, and it was the single highest return hour I spent that year. Thing 2. I automated savings the day I got paid. Not whatever's left at the end of the month. That number is always 0. On payday, $100 moved automatically to a separate savings account before I ever touched it. I started with $100 because it felt survivable. The amount matters less than the automation. What you don't see, you don't spend. Thing 3, I canceled everything I hadn't used in 30 days. I did a one-time subscription audit, went through my bank statements for 60 days and flagged every recurring charge. I found $140 a month I had either forgotten about or didn't value anymore. Canceled all of it in one afternoon. That freed up more money than any spending cutback I had ever attempted. Thing 4. I built one pressure valve into the plan. Every budget I'd tried before failed because it was too tight. No flexibility meant one unexpected thing wrecked the whole month and I quit. So I added a small, unallocated buffer, $75 that was allowed to disappear without guilt. Having permission to use it meant I didn't blow up the whole plan when I needed it. Thing 5, I reviewed every Sunday for 10 minutes. Not obsessively, 10 minutes. Looked at what came in, what went out, whether I was on track. This one thing is what actually closed the loop. Without a weekly check-in, problems compound silently. With one, you catch a $40 drift before it becomes a $400 drift. My friend Marcus called this his money pulse check, and he said it changed his relationship with his account from dread to neutral, which turns out to be a huge upgrade. Here's what all 5 of these have in common. None of them require you to want less. They require you to set up a structure once, so you stop making the same micro decisions every day. That structure is what actually stopped the monthly broke cycle for me. Not discipline, not motivation, not cutting out every small pleasure. Now, I already know what some of you are thinking. I've tried automating savings and just transferred it back when I needed it. And honestly, same. I did that too the first 2 times. Here's what changed it for me. I moved the savings account to a completely different bank. Not a different account at the same bank. A different institution entirely. The transfer time goes from instant to 2 to 3 business days, and that friction is enough. You still technically can move the money, but you have to decide to do it far enough in advance that impulse can't win. It sounds like a small thing, it's not. The research on temptation bundling and friction as a behavioral tool is unambiguous. Adding even minor friction to a behavior reduces how often it happens dramatically. Putting your savings somewhere that's slightly annoying to access is one of the highest impact moves in personal finance. Not glamorous, completely real. Remember that Thursday I described $34 in my account, 9 days from payday, no idea what happened? I haven't had that experience in over 2 years, not because I earned dramatically more, though income has grown, but because the 5 systems are running quietly in the background whether I'm paying attention or not. That's what financial structure actually feels like. Not restriction. Quiet. A low-level hum of things working the way they're supposed to, without you having to fight for it every single day. If this helped, subscribe. I put out one of these every week, and they build on each other. And if you want to go deeper on eliminating debt specifically, the payoff strategy that actually saves the most money and interest, I link that video right here. Watch that one next.